All right, Dan. Donald Trump's chief paralegal, Pam Bondi, testified before the Senate today about turning the Justice Department into a deeply corrupt political arm of the White House, except with guns and handcuffs. Let's see how she did.
I was going to ask you if you received advice, instruction, or request from anyone at the White House to direct the department to engage in any investigations, including decisions not to investigate or prosecute anyone.
I'm not going to discuss any conversations.
But then how about the Truth Social post on September 20th in which the president said, "We can't delay any longer, Pam," using your name? Do you consider that a directive to the Justice Department?
Senator Klobuchar, President Trump is the most transparent president in American history. And I don't think he said anything that he hasn't said for years.
Were you consulted by the White House before they deployed National Guard troops to cities in the United States?
I am not going to discuss any internal conversations with the White House.
You won't even say whether you talked to the White House about this?
I am not going to discuss any internal conversations with the White House with you, Ranking Member.
I noticed that.
Ms. Bondi, did you approve closing the Homan investigation, bribery investigation?
The Department of Justice and the FBI conducted a thorough review, and they found no credible evidence of any wrongdoing. You were also on video outside the White House protesting with a group called CASA, where Antifa members were. Does that mean you're a member of Antifa?
So what do you think, Dan? Some good answers? Were you persuaded?
It seems like the system of checks and balances set up by the founders is working great. Right?
I mean, it's just like you can tell this was the case with Kash Patel and all of them that now come and testify before these committees. They just don't give a shit. They sort of try not to perjure themselves by just not answering questions.
Yeah.
And then they try for viral moments for Fox, or most likely for the president himself, who's the only audience they care about. And they kind of seem like they all know that they're getting pardons, preemptive pardons at some point. They have nothing to worry about for any kind of law breaking that they may be doing within the department. So they're just going to sit there and give a real fuck you attitude to the senators asking questions.
Yeah, the whole thing's a farce, right? They do not care. They do not. Like, I guess technically they care about definitely not perjuring themselves, although I'm pretty sure when Kash Patel was up there, he may not have cared as much as others. But they don't answer the questions. They don't pretend to answer the questions. They are looking for a moment that both shows Trump that they'll stick it to the libs. And you're right. This is the end result of the culture that led us. Ben Shapiro destroys Harvard students clips of like the 2010s.
Careful. The title is going to be on this YouTube video.
Well, I know we're down this road ourselves. But here's the thing. We're doing YouTube videos. These people are in charge of the government.
That's true. That's true.
There should be a difference. This is why you don't put podcasters in charge of the government.
It is very that's at least under this administration. Let's not let's not disparage any kind of future podcasters in government. So it's funny because like Amy Klobuchar is probably sitting there like, the president said in public, please prosecute my enemies. And she's like, well, it's nothing he hasn't said before. He is very transparent about it.
The transparent thing is the stupidest crutch that is actually quite effective in these situations. We're like, hey, the president's committing a crime out loud in front of everyone on the White House lawn. He's the most transparent president in history. Joe Biden would have committed those crimes behind closed doors, right? It's like, what?
The best part, the Tom Homan line of questioning is especially great because, first of all, they asked for a video. There's a video of Tom Homan taking the bribe. There's also audio.
In a paper bag.
In a paper bag. They asked for that. She's just a no on that. They also asked a very simple question, which is, now the bribe was from undercover FBI agents that gave him $50,000. So the question is, did you keep it? Like does the FBI have the $50,000 or did they give it to Tom Homan and he didn't give it back? And she couldn't even answer that question. Did the FBI just give Tom Homan $50,000?
Yeah, I think the problem here is They can't answer that question because Caroline Levitt, the first day, said that it was not true they got the $50,000. And so to then say, yes, he gave it, but presuming, let's say he gave it back, or the FBI was like, hey, we're not going to charge you with a crime, but one thing we'd like before we do that is the $50,000.
I want to be in an FBI sting. Well, you get $50,000? That's so cool.
Yes. You know what? Be careful what you wish for. Also, how do we end up wearing the same shirt to this thing?
I don't know. It's
Tommy and I
wild.
did the same thing last week. I mean, I realized that we only all have 4 shirts in various colors of blue, but
we're gonna have to start texting in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is all. Oh, she also got into it with Adam Schiff in an exchange that is probably worth taking a look at here.
You were asked by my colleague from Vermont whether you will support providing a video or audio tape, if it exists, of Mr. Homan taking $50,000 in bribe money from the FBI. Will you support a request by this committee to provide that tape or tapes to the committee? Yes or no?
Senator Schiff, you can talk to Director Patel about that.
Well, I'm talking to you about it. You're the Attorney General. This will be your decision. Will you
You
support?
don't have to tell me what is my decision,
Well,
what is
then-
not my
then-
decision.
then-
I
and
said
you- and
you
you
can
don't
talk
have
to
to-
Director
you don't
Patel.
have to try to-
You think
you
you've
don't
got a
have to-
gotcha with Tom Homan, our
Excuse me,
borders are,
excuse me, you
who's
don't-
been out there
excuse me.
fighting for our country
Madam
since
Chair,
Donald Trump took office.
I'm trying to ask you a question. Regular order, please. And you don't have to defer to the FBI director to pass the buck. So I'm asking you, will you support a request so that the committee, or indeed, I believe the American people, should be able to see that video or audio tape? Will you support that request?
Will you apologize to Donald Trump
So
for trying to
I guess
impeach
the answer
him
is you won't support that
after
request.
you now know that
So
Joe
let me-
Biden tried
let
to
me
cover up
do
Hunter
this.
Biden's involvement with
Excuse
Ukraine?
me. Let me do this because I think it's valuable that the American people get a sense of what you've refused to answer today.
You know it is a gotcha question because she starts yelling really loudly and talking about something else that has nothing to do with the question, Senator.
I mean, also, not for nothing, but Tom Homan's been out there fighting for this country since Donald Trump took office. That was 9 months ago. Makes it sound like he's been on the front lines since Iwo Jima. Like, what are we doing?
He deserves that $50K. You know what? That's why he's keeping the bag. That's his now. It was a present, and he's keeping it because he's making sure the borders are safe. He gets his $50,000 from the FBI. That's his bonus this year.
Oh, man. It's just like, will you apologize to Donald Trump for impeaching him?
What? Like, what? It's unbelievable. And it's funny because you can tell these good for the Democrats for like asking all these tough questions and like pinning her down on this, but it is tough to deal with that. Like they don't know what to do when someone's just like, no, I have a video and an audio of a high level official in the administration taking a bribe from an undercover FBI operation. And I not only will not produce the video, I won't even answer your question about whether I should produce the video. And then I'll yell at you for asking me the question.
Yeah, there's a world in which you could just say, I decline to answer because I'm not going to reveal private conversations with the president. Like that is one approach. The other one is, will you apologize?
Yeah, she was like,
you were caught on tape at a rally with Antifa.
Yeah, she was like
Do you want to go to jail?
She was like 2 seconds away from calling him pencil neck. So that's where we are. This was the first time that Pam testified since all her hard work covering up Trump's involvement with Jeffrey Epstein after she handed out a bunch of Epstein file binders to a bunch of terminally online lunatics at the White House. Let's hear how that went.
Did the FBI find those photographs that have been discussed publicly by a witness who claimed Jeffrey Epstein showed them to him? You don't know anything about that? Okay.
This is how she handled the Epstein stuff. There's just nothing.
Yeah, and then when she was asked about whether who directed her to direct the FBI agents to review 100,000 Epstein documents for Trump's name, she didn't answer that either.
Did you see in the Oval yesterday when they asked about a pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell and Trump said, "I'm going to have to talk to the DOJ about it"?
Yeah,
not a no.
No. Then he brought up P. Diddy.
Yes, Diddy has asked him for a pardon. And I don't. Did he rule that out? I don't think he ruled that out.
I just think he just pointed out that he had been asked. I don't think he indicated which way he was going to go one way or the other.
I will say that Senator Kennedy from Louisiana, Republican, in this hearing also asked Bondi, maybe you might want to interview Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, who just gave an interview saying that he was Jeffrey Epstein's neighbor and Jeffrey Epstein loved to blackmail people.
Yes.
So that was good. I guess good for Senator Kennedy for asking that question. I don't know if
you're having trouble finding him, he's probably 3 seats down from you at the cabinet meeting. So,
so a lot of stuff still. It's amazing to me that the Epstein stuff is still live. It's still a thing that's happening, and they just stopped caring. He could pardon Maxwell now.
John, Congress is not in session right now because of Epstein.
Oh, that's right. Oh, because they're not seating.
Right. Yes.
Grijalva.
So in a normal shutdown, what will be happening right now is the House would be in, and the House would be trying to pass bills that say we're going to start paying troops, right? Like this is what the side always does. Is they try to they force the side that is theoretically or initiating the shutdown to vote against a bunch of bills that open half the government. Right. They do troops, they do law enforcement, things like that. They cannot do that because if they come to pass message bills, they have to seat Representative-elect Grijalva, therefore getting 218, which gets you the discharge position, which starts the clock on the Epstein vote. So they are making their ability to fight this shutdown way worse because they are so afraid of the Epstein files. This is now the second time in the last 3 months that the Epstein files have shut down Congress.
Keep in mind, the Attorney General was just asked by a senator about public reporting that Jeffrey Epstein showed people photos of President Trump with half-naked young women. And her response was nothing. Not even no. Yeah. Not even that's crazy. We don't have those pictures. We haven't seen anything. Just nothing.
Yeah, it's interesting because in a normal world with a normally evasive Attorney General, the lack of a no there would be evidence that there was a yes. But like she could have been sitting on the pictures under her, like sitting. So she'd been sitting on the pictures at that exact moment. She would still say they don't exist. So I don't really know what happened there.
This video is brought to you by Simply Safe Home Security. John, do you think Simply Safe's proactive protection is good enough that it could have stopped Joe Biden from stealing the 2020 election?
That's what Sidney Powell tells me.
That's a joke. No, probably not. But Simply Safe can stop an intruder from breaking into your home with its proactive protection that confronts criminals while they're still outside. With Simply Safe, the moment someone steps onto your property, AI-powered cameras detect threats while they are still outside your home and alert real security agents right away. To get 50% off your new system, go to simplysafe.com/crooked. That's simplysafe.com/crooked for 50% off. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
All right. Final clip. I don't know what this is, and I'm hoping that you can maybe help us out.
I hope this is what I think
okay,
it is.
Good.
And I'll point out Senator Kennedy has a new book about testing negative for stupid, so I hope I test negative for stupid. I hope I meet the threshold of
You do meet it, and I talk in the book about the tattoo of the Backstreet Boys on your back.
Look, I can't help that you don't want to reach young people. I think young people are the future, damn it, and I'll do whatever steps are needed.
Backstreet Boys?
That would be on Vice President Vance's playlist, I heard, that got hacked.
JD catching strays there.
First a lot of questions there.
A lot of questions. Do I need to ChatGPT this? What's going on?
I think I presumed it was just a pretty funny joke from Senator Kennedy.
But okay, sure.
Yeah.
Backstreet Boys tattoo. It's an inside joke, I'm guessing, that suddenly became very outside. Like why? Why would you have Backstreet Boys? I don't understand. Where did they fit in?
I don't know why it was the Backstreet Boys. Maybe Senator Kennedy's been to the Sphere recently to see the Backstreet Boys where they've been performing. But I took it as him saying that Cruz does a very organic plug for John Kennedy's book. Then he makes, you're not stupid, but I do write about your stupid decision to get this, I presumably faked. I hope you're ChatGPTing right now.
I did.
Not true.
There is no credible evidence or reporting that Cruz actually has any such tattoo.
Okay.
The remark seems to be part of how senators are poking fun at each other, a piece of political theater, not a literal fact. No, thanks, chat. No, I get that.
Yeah. And so they made the joke, but then Ted Cruz, being just a particularly unfunny person, talks about it as outreach to young people, even though the Backstreet Boys are in their 50s.
That's the opposite of outreach to young.
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah, it's outreach to old people. And then did Pam Bondi just reveal, did I not know this, that J.D. Vance's playlist got hacked?
Did he? Yeah, I think he had a playlist out at one point. I do remember some kind of brief news cycle about a J.D. Vance playlist. Ryan, do you remember this? Oh, we think it's from Katie Miller's podcast.
Oh,
where all the news is made, and
that's true.
The purpose of which is to make sure everyone knows that Marco Rubio is funny, I guess.
Yeah. Does he? We got to do some research here, but I guess J.D. Vance likes the Backstreet Boys.
I don't think he said that during the podcast. I think.
Well, but that's what Pam Bondi has finally revealed some actually interesting information in this hearing and told us.
He wants it that way. He wants it that way. Chat's really looking deep. The hearing remark by Senator Kennedy is the first documented public usage of the Backstreet Boys tattoo claim in this exact form.
Well, the Senate, look, I'm not here to defame anyone. I don't know anything, but senators do have a gym that they all work out together in. So it's very possible that if he were to have a secret tattoo that we were unaware of, Senator Kennedy would know.
Okay. Every senator that comes on this program now, every male senator who's been in that gym, we're asking the question, have you seen his back? Does he have a tramp stamp? Is there a boy band in the tramp stamp?
And frankly, if there are any other secret tattoos of senators you would like to reveal,
maybe it's
on
in
this
sync,
podcast,
maybe it's 98 degrees. Who knows? And maybe it's not the Backstreet Boys.
Maybe it's the K-pop Demon Hunters.
Maybe it's the K-pop. Now we're talking outreach to young people. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's if you want more content like this, you should subscribe to Plaid Save America.
And why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? This is the kind of you're not getting this from regular news programs. They're not going.
You're not getting this from Barry Weiss's CBS News. I'll tell you that.
No siree. Let's do the fucking news. The fucking news is that Ted Cruz may or may not have a tattoo on his back, and there may or may not be pictures that Pam Bondi's sitting on that show Donald Trump with half-naked young women. We don't know. But we're just asking questions here at Pod Save America. You should subscribe, and it's free. Tell your friends. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.